Hello. Today, I want to talk to me about two characters living inside the same word. Leader, hero. Two entirely different stories. And if I'm not careful, I'll think I'm asking for leadership when I'm actually asking for a hero. Start with the leader. What they do is less cinematic and considerably harder. They hold the tension of competing needs. They recognize that every real decision costs something, and pretending otherwise is its own kind of lie. And when the impact lands wrong, they don't dissolve in the background. They stay. They account for it. They repair what they can and adjust what they must. And then they do it again. I will act, they say, but I cannot promise I'm right. It doesn't resolve neatly. It's a practice that makes a terrible poster, stubbornly unviral. The hero is a different kind of character. The hero emerges when uncertainty has gone on too long and people are desperate for a simple story. Heroes don't do accountability. Heroes don't do trade-offs. Heroes do destiny. And we love them for it because heroes offer four highly addictive things. Certainty. Tell me what's right so I don't have to wrestle with it. Safety. Hold the risk for me and absorb the heat. Meaning, make this chaos feel like a story with a point. Permission. If they do it first, I'm allowed to do it too. Heroes soothe. They let me stop thinking just for a moment. But the trap is structural. When we turn someone into a hero, we hand them our agency. We trade discernment for devotion. We stop practicing moral judgment and start following the vibe. And then we're shocked when the hero turns out to be a person with blood. And then we're shocked when the hero turns out to be a person with blind spots, contradictions, and the occasional catastrophic take. Because the hero was never real. The hero was a projection. So let me say this plainly. Do not outsource your moral decisions to me. When I speak in big moral language, right and wrong, moving humanity forward, I am stepping into hero territory. The moment I say this is right, people naturally ask, cool, are you right? That's where moral duty leadership becomes dangerous. The antidote, humility with structure, clear principles. Here's what I'm asking. Here's why. Here's what I'm risking. Here's who I'm listening to. And here's what I'll do if I learn that I caused harm. The hero says, trust me. So here's my dilemma. Part of me wants the leader path. I can also feel the pull of herohood and the warm bath of moral validation. But here's the thing. A hero cannot be complicated. A hero cannot be seen making trade-offs in real time. I can't move forward without naming the lies. Imagine I went through LinkedIn and told all the lies. Not I faked a whole life lies. The startup lies. The socially acceptable lies. The technically maybe kind of lies. The ones that begin as rounding errors and end as an identity. Here's how it happens. I'm early in my career. I'm surrounded by people who sound like they were born inside a pitch deck. Everyone has a clean narrative. Everyone drove outcomes. Everyone led cross-functional initiatives. So I adjust a sentence. Helped becomes owned. Contributed becomes led. Was in the room becomes was responsible. It feels harmless because it's adjacent to the truth. My nervous system learns a brutal equation. Inflation equals safety. Honesty equals risk. Honesty might mean I might not get picked. So I inflate again and again until my LinkedIn becomes a character sheet. When I inflate my experience, I begin negotiating with reality. I walk into rooms where people believe I can do things I can't. And instead of learning, I'm performing. Instead of growing, I'm guarding. I develop an allergy to clarity. Clarity is the one thing the story can't survive. Then comes the island. At first, it arrives softly. A whisper of unease in rooms full of brilliant people. Hypervigilance about how my silhouette appears. I begin sculpting my public face with more care than my inner life, weaving relationships through the mask rather than the marrow. The deeper wound is what happens to my own story. A narrative built for applause slowly loses its grip on truth. My actual achievements blur at the edges. Inflation makes me a stranger to my own reflection. Trust, once it begins to fray, unravels quietly, and then all at once. Honest voices grow scarce. The feedback that might have steadied me stops arriving altogether. Without it, the island grows larger, and the water around it deeper. So what's the lesson? Integrity is a commitment to reality. It's using language that actually fits. Naming my role without costuming it. Owning the edges where I'm still learning. Letting my work carry more weight than the narration of it. Truth holds a power that inflation never quite manages. It builds a life I can actually inhabit. And if I'm ever in need to puff myself up, to feel like I'm enough, there's a way back. Practicing. I rebuild integrity the same way I lost it. I learn the precision of language. I say I contributed when I contributed. I say I learned when I learned. And when I'm accurate long enough, people can locate me. And the opposite of the island is integrity. And integrity might be the most radical way to grow without a character sheet. Reality and the unusual peace that comes with it.